8-7.
Boys, penis, money, drinks.
Yes, questions for the ladies about all that, you know?
Absolutely.
All right, so Greg, he had a question right before the break, and then we'll get the answer on this. We got Morgan,
Morning.
we got Caroline, and of course we got Gina and Sammy to help answer these questions. And your second, and this is the last Tampa-related question.
It
we're
is.
gonna have.
It is.
Thank God.
Yeah, just basically when you have your first peer and your mother makes a big deal out of it, wants to have a party or take you out to lunch or celebrate, for lack of a better term. Is that a thing? And if it was a thing for you, was it mortifying?
I don't know anyone who experienced that personally. I sure as hell didn't.
Now, you have heard the term period party, right?
Yeah, and remember the Cosby Show had Women's Day, and that was like a really big deal.
Yes.
But that ish wouldn't fly in my house. No one explained anything to me. Thank God for the public education system. I had no idea. I thought women, you laid eggs. Nobody knew anything. So I told my mom, she was downstairs watching a movie. I was mortified. I didn't know what to do. I sat there just staring at the TV for like a half an hour, and I was like, my stomach hurts. And she's like, okay, congratulations. And then I was like, I think it's because I had my period. And my mom turns off the TV and goes, okay. Gets up, leaves, goes to the store, gets pads. That was it? That was my period party.
But no conversation?
No explanation.
No.
No tutorial.
No.
Nothing.
That is why I'm more like, do you guys have any questions? I'd love to help.
Yeah, when I first started mine, I had two older sisters, so it's not like I was the only
Home
girl
field
or
advantage.
kid,
Yeah,
right?
true.
So when I started mine, I remember telling my mom, and she just went, "Okay, well then go grab a pad." Like it wasn't. It was just like
By the
go
time
do
she got
that.
to you, it was like
And it
whatever.
sucks because like two other sisters,
Yeah.
so you get those hand-me-down tamps, you know?
Right. I hate when that happens.
All ratty.
Yeah, no, I want the cool one.
Yeah, they don't fit.
Yeah, after that kind of first cycle, I went, I'm done with pads. They're so annoying. And so I told my mom, I was like, I'm just going to use tampons. And my mom was like, this was the only real conversation. And my mom was like, I don't recommend that. You're going to leak. Like, it's not, because when you first start and you don't know and
Yeah, you
whatever.
don't know what you're doing.
And so she warned me and she was like, you don't want to be at school or something and something happens. I really don't think you should. And I was like, well, I'm not wearing pads. I'm not doing it. And she was like,
Menace is
okay.
going to throw up. Yeah, somebody on the text says, my mom and my aunt got me a cake that said congrats, and my dad got me a card that day. For everyone listening, don't do that.
I know. It seems like it would
make
be
it a
so
big deal.
embarrassing.
This
Yeah.
one
that's
said,
too much.
I was the first girl to get mine in class. Didn't get a big celebration, but for 1 week, I was the coolest girl in all of class. All the other girls wanted to ask me about it because I was, quote, a woman now.
See, I like that because I remember the girl who got hers first, and she was like in 5th or 6th grade, and we were all like, ugh, like, don't talk about it. How embarrassing for you.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be the opposite of that.
All right, some other questions for the ladies. And so my wife will ask me this question every once in a while. She goes, isn't it weird to sit, like when you got nuts? Like, isn't that uncomfortable? It's the same kind of thing, but how do you sleep comfortably with boobs? This is one of the questions that got sent in.
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, I wouldn't know. So, Gina, you want to take this one?
Well, they do have boob pillows that I looked into before my reduction. They're like these like kind of curved on both side pillows that you put in between your boobs, so when you lay sideways they don't like smush together. But I never actually pulled the trigger on that. But it is not easy. You don't sleep on your front, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you can't stomach sleep.
And if you ever like are on vacation or you go to the beach, it's true, we do dig a little trench and lay on
is
our
that right?
fronts.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, Sam doesn't get, but Morgan,
Yeah, that's pretty easy
Caroline.
for me.
I can't really relate to that either, Gina. I sleep on my front. And
yeah,
I've
me too.
never had issues, yeah.
So like, I mean,
Too small.
all right. For women in groups, why don't you call your friends out for bad behavior when they are obviously in the wrong? Why is there a need to always justify their actions?
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, I do this. I call friends out, and I've lost friends because of that. Because they just want to hear what they want to hear. So, girls with big friends group, it's because they don't tell the truth to their friends.
That is very
That's what I think anyway.
insightful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because guys are like, dude, you're a dumbass.
Right? They're
Right,
straight to
yeah.
their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you did it, privately, or did you do it in front of the group?
Well, it depends. There's been different situations, but no, mostly privately. But
Okay.
sometimes if you're, 3 or 4 girlfriends at lunch or whatever, and they're talking about their ex and blah, blah, and you just tell it to them straight, the whole group of girls will look at you like, are you crazy right now?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Like, don't say that.
But dudes, we prefer to do it in front of the group.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. Caroline, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was saying, yeah, but then you end up being the mean one and everyone's looking at you like, oh, I can't believe you said that. But I had a group of friends where we were all very blunt with each other and we'd pretty much all tell each other how your boyfriends were terrible. So I feel like because of that, we kind of like stopped telling each other or talking to each other because we already knew everyone's opinion. So it's like, it just was like, I didn't want them to think my boyfriend was bad. So I never talked about him. Because
Gotcha.
I knew they were going to be like
I
overly
see.
mean.
So you made a pact to just end the honesty.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Yeah, let's just lie to each
Yeah,
other.
let's not do that.
Well, things can be delivered in a certain way. If you're
Yeah.
just being overly mean, that's not really helpful.
Right.
Yeah. Here's another question. Questions for the ladies. How can women drop so much hair in my house and not be bald?
Oh, yeah.
Great
It's
question.
a like, dude,
Cat's nest.
like,
I think it's an optical illusion because each hair is, 10 inches long as opposed to, a half an inch long like your hair.
yeah, maybe. But like, I just know, like, I went to go take a leak recently, and there's a garbage can right next to the toilet. I'm like, what is in there? It looks like a bird's nest.
Yeah.
And that was just the hair that she had pulled off of her
Brush.
hairbrush.
We do shed a lot.
Yeah, and then I look. She's got this one chair in like the family room that she sits in. I never sit in this chair. The kids never sit in this chair. It's become her chair, and I'm looking at this thing. It looks like the dog bed. You know, like a dog's bed has like it's just covered in fur.
Yeah.
It's cut like it's got a ton of her just hairs,
Do you have alopecia or something?
like all over. I'm like, how are you not bald?
We do, we do shed a lot. What do they say? You're supposed to, the average person sheds like 100 hairs a day or
Yeah.
something.
yeah,
wow.
Google says 50 to 100 hairs a day is normal for a woman.
Yeah.
Does
All
your
right.
hair ever hurt? It seems like having long hair would hurt.
No.
Hurt.
No, because it's
Like the weight of it?
the weight of it, the length of it.
Sometimes if you pull it back, like if you have braids or a really slick ponytail, that might hurt a little
Yeah,
bit.
it gives you an instant facelift though.
My hair only really hurt when I had hangovers and like I still had gel in my hair and I would like touch it, like my whole body would hurt.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
All right, back to the sleeping on your how do you sleep comfortably with boobs question. A couple of people on the text. We have one 505 says, I'm a 36 double D and I can sleep on my tummy tum because boobs do smush down. This other
Yeah,
one says
true.
I wear a 46K bra. What is that?
Nice.
Yeah.
Whip them out.
Giant.
Is that, I mean, I've
It's
never even heard that.
because A, B, C, D,
Okay.
E, F, G, H,
Oh.
I.
Yeah.
and because like triple D
Jeez.
and E are the same, like that kind of thing. So
Okay.
she's into the alphabet.
A K is a specialty bra. Like she has to get it.
I was
custom.
very close to that before
Wow.
my reduction.
I wear a 46K bra and I sleep comfortably on my front. I hate sleeping on my back.
Ooh, I mean, those
Good for
must
her.
hang to the knees though.
Well, on the top.
and not when
flexible.
you're young.
Your
not
back
when
is at
you're
an
young.
arch.
I will say though, when you're laying on your back, Gina, maybe not Sammy, but it's say you're having sexual relations or something. You're laying on your back and your boobs are just flat. It's like the most unattractive looking thing ever.
Yeah, like they'll
You
go
know
to
what
the
I'm talking
side.
about? Yeah, and
nobody
it's
wants
just like smushed
that.
down with pancakes.
Kind of goes under your armpit
Like,
kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, let
Yeah.
me hold these up.
Make them look better.
Don't look at me.
And maybe that's where it got started in porn, Greg. Where like
Oh,
they're
when they
like,
kinda smush them
'cause,
together.
like,
100%.
that's got to be what
Yeah.
that was.
100%.
Because it just
Doesn't
looks
look
better
good
on film, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, questions for the ladies. Why can't they tell us what's wrong without having to be asked multiple times?
I mean, it sounds like it's your relationship, not everyone. I'm pretty direct.
That's
There are a lot of girls like that though.
I
Yes.
feel like for me, when I say nothing's wrong and they're like, obviously something's wrong, it's because I know I'm reacting poorly and I just need a breather.
Caroline,
If that makes sense.
Okay.
great point. Great
So like
point.
they're
That's
like,
good.
why are you saying nothing's wrong? I'm saying, just like give me 10 minutes. I know I'm having a bad reaction. I know I'm being dramatic.
Yeah.
Just like let me get over it.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's a great insight.
Another question. The fact that women want you more when you're married or have a girlfriend, why is that?
Because you're road tested and approved.
Yeah, it's the chase.
Is that really?
I think probably, yeah. Like, oh, somebody else likes you, that somebody else has already vetted you.
But I'm saying, do
Okay.
you find people more attractive if you know they're in a relationship, whether it's conscious or I can never say that word right.
Conscious.
A conscious thing or
Conscious.
not, a conscious
Yeah.
thought or not.
That's a good question because being married now, I guess I think less about it. But I would answer that by saying the flip thing. It's like, everyone says, oh, they're this age and they're not married. What's wrong with them? So maybe the opposite is true. Like, oh, they're somebody else thought they were good enough to marry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or is there maybe some sort of taboo element to it? Like, oh, he's unattainable, so it makes it more
You do love a
exciting?
taboo.
Or Greg, naughty.
Or naughty?
Naughty.
Greg loves naughty.
He loves naughty.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Okay.
It's a challenge.
I've never found it more appealing, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
The ring is an obstacle to like you back off. You're not like, oh, challenge accepted.
Or does
Right.
this maybe go
Yeah.
to like one of those natural competitive things between women?
Yeah.
To take somebody's husband?
Well, no, because they say like, chicks don't do things for, dudes.
Dudes,
like,
they do it for other
purses
women,
or whatever.
yeah.
Purses,
Yeah, there's always some kind of
nails,
competition.
everything. Yeah.
Right.
One-upping.
And there are
Yeah.
people who are obviously more competitive than others. And
Right.
so maybe it's one of those. I don't know.
Speaking
I
of...
mean, compete for a single guy, sure.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't for somebody's husband or boyfriend.
And make
Okay,
no mistakes.
Tammy.
We know that there are women out there that are into that. I think we're having
Yeah.
a hard time relating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what you said initially, like road tested,
Yeah.
like, okay, this guy has been approved by others.
Exactly.
Speaking of shoes and purses, did you have to like practice walking in high heels?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For what? A day? For a
yeah,
week?
and then you
for a
have to
month?
like. We would like shuffle up and down our driveway to scuff the bottoms so they were less slippery, and we absolutely had to like rehearse.
It seems impossible.
Very difficult. I'm not a
tried.
fan.
No, it seems like it would be impossible.
It
It's
is
not
the
my
worst.
favorite. Yeah.
You need strong ankles for sure.
I love it, but I think that there's no such thing as a comfortable heel. They all suck.
True.
Oh,
Just wear flats because I don't want to deal with you at the end of the night where you're walking around with them.
holding your shoes.
Walking
Yeah.
around Vegas like the zombie.
Barefoot.
Yeah.
And maybe because Morgan's so tall, like I can't really see you wearing heels.
She
or-
loves it.
I wear heels all the time
You
outside
do?
of work.
Love
Hot
heels.
as hell.
Constantly. I'm always taller than 6 foot. I love heels.
Yeah, but you're tall already, so that's why I figured like maybe you wouldn't.
No, I think it adds to the outfit. Honestly, I think flats are gross. Girls look bad in them. And another point, sorry if this sounds mean. Back to Menace's point. If you cannot commit to the same shoes all night, don't wear them.
Yes,
Agreed.
Because
thank
it is
you.
so gross and unattractive to see a girl, holding her shoes or
And
wearing
walking
flip flops.
barefoot.
Well,
yeah.
and talk about companies that saw a need and went in there. There's vending machines at a lot of like party spots with those little like
Yeah.
ballet
Yeah,
flats
I've
in
seen
them.
that.
It's pretty genius.
They sell them at like CVS now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always that girl though, barefoot within 2 seconds. A wedding, I've walked
yeah.
the streets
Tammy.
of Vegas barefoot.
Why?
A lot. Because I can't
Sounds
with
safe.
the
Just
heels.
wear-
Yeah.
Plus she has
I know,
hepatitis.
I know.
Tetanus
What if you
stew.
step in AIDS or
Yeah, I
something?
had an officer yell at me. He was like, "You need to put your shoes on right now," and I was like, "Well, that's not happening."
Yeah, that's
But why
gross.
wouldn't you just wear comfortable shoes then?
Because
Because
Morgan thinks we're
I
ugly.
was like 21, and you,
Hey, be
Yeah.
ugly, but commit to being ugly.
I
commit
do.
to one or the other.
Here's another one. Common things women do that men can't wrap their heads around. For me, the impacts of the menstrual cycle on the entire body. I know enough to be very glad I don't have to go through it, but not enough to fully understand what women go through. Like everybody knows about the, TAMPs, right, Greg?
Well, that's the thing. I just have zero understanding of it.
For some people, it's not a big deal. For others, like me, you get shooting pains down your legs, and then some people headaches and migraines, and hormones are affected where like your stomach gets real jacked up, and so you're just like
Yeah.
constantly in the back, like it.
The period
it
poos.
Exactly, it affects
Period?
the whole body, and you get like you get dumb, you get dumber,
Yeah.
like you can't remember stuff.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. That reminds me, there was this old timey, like back in the 50s, 60s, whatever, they had these like sex ed classes,
yeah.
and they
Right.
would show people the film strips. And like,
Sure.
that was always a cool job, by the way, when you were a kid. And they had a slide projector or a film strip that had to be
And you got
turned,
to-
and you
yeah.
got to be the one to turn it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't do that anymore,
No.
obviously, because
It would
super
ding
old
and then
time.
you
Yeah,
change
but yeah, there was like one of those. This is one of those old sex ed things when it comes to periods.
Lesson 2. Menstruation. Like seasons, there comes a time in every young lady's life that her body changes. You will notice breasts starting to appear. A boyish figure is replaced by a more curved torso. But the most important change a young girl will experience is labeled menstruation, or more commonly called a period, or monthlies. Every month for 4 or 5 days, blood will flow outside your bodies. Do not worry. Every girl encounters this. It may be scary at first, but as you grow, the menstrual cycle will become second nature to you. To protect your clothing from the blood, you wear a sanitary pad.
Ugh.
A sanitary pad is a thick layer of cotton that absorbs all the blood and prevents it from staining your underwear and pants. It's a good idea to keep some extra pads in your purse or locker. Remember, the menstrual cycle means you are maturing into a young woman. Enjoy this change in your body.
I want to know more. The Woody Show. We'll be right back. Alt 98.7. LA's